So I found this tree here. It is a eucalyptus species, and this tree is going to fit very nicely into my research project. So now what I want to do is put my sap flow sensor onto this tree. I'm not going to put it up here near this branch or over here near this dead piece of wood. I want to put it somewhere where it's a nice straight stem and in some conducting sapwood. Right here is a good spot. There's no branches below it, so therefore I can put it right here at about breast height. So what you want to do, once you've decided where to put it, is clear away the bark, because you want the sensors up against the sapwood. So this tree has some very easy bark to peel away, just simply with your hand remove it. See there, that's nice straight wood. I can put my sensor right there. My research tree over there had some very easy bark to peel away, but most often bark is going to be very hard to get rid of. So what you want is a chisel or a screwdriver or something that you can get into that bark and really get stuck in to get to the sapwood. Just clear away enough of the bark to get the sensor on there. Don't clear away too much, just enough to get the sensor there. And then make sure that that area there is nice and flat, so all the sensors sit flat against the stem. So here is a large installation guide that would have come with your installation kit. When you install it onto the tree, you want to make sure these holes are aligned with the way the water is moving. So here are my holes, and here's the trunk of my tree. So I want to have it that way. You don't want it sitting like this, or you don't want it sitting like that. You want to have it sitting like this. Now install it onto the tree, simply put it into place, push it in, and tie it off with the Velcro straps. Our installation guide is now in place. We are ready to drill. The secret to drilling is to keep it as parallel as possible. You don't want it to be dropping down or up. We like to use the Dremel drill because it doesn't have the big heavy handle on it. This way you can keep it nice and straight. You're not overcompensating or undercompensating and moving a drill like this. On our installation guide we have a choice of holes, 4, 5 and 6. These represent the millimetres the holes are spaced apart. Mostly scientists these days choose the 5mm spacing, and that's what we will do today. So that's these middle holes. So what you want to do is start from the downstream hole, which is this upper one here. Insert your drill. You want to make sure it's as straight as possible. And the key to drilling properly is just to do little bits at a time. It's the old tortoise and the hare fable. The tortoise goes nice and slow and it wins the race. The hare rushes and it gets things wrong and it ends up having to start again. It's the same with the drilling here. What you want to do is small bits at a time. You don't want to rush it. So just like the tortoise, go nice and slowly, little bits at a time, and you'll get a nice clean cut and a good installation. So now we want to make sure our drill bit is nice and clean. For a good sharp cut, this always must be clean. So as we're going little bits at a time, about 1mm each time, just grab your stainless steel brush, the wire brush, just give it a clean. So I just became distracted there by something moving off in the distance and I lost concentration. I moved my hand around and I broke the drill bit. What you don't want to do is then remove this guide because you'll never get the holes back into the same spot. You want to keep that guide there, finish your holes, and then finish off that hole later. I've finished all 3 holes now, so it's time to remove the guide. So we removed the drill guide, and here's the drill that we've broken. Now, sometimes you can just pull it out, but this one is not coming out. You don't want to wiggle that around because that would ruin your installation. So just grab your drill, clamp it back around it, come back out. So the best way to check the accuracy of your installation is to grab 3 drill bits and just to put them into the hole like I've done here. You can see they should be parallel and 5mm spacing. Here this is pretty good, and also if you run your fingers down they should be in a straight line. I don't have one crooked going outwards and the spacings aren't too far apart. So it's really difficult to get it completely accurate, but I'm very happy with this installation, so I'm going to go ahead and put my sap flow meter in here. Before I put the needles into the tree, I'm just going to dip them into this vacuum grease. I like to do this because the needles will have good contact with the tree, and also when I uninstall the sensors, they'll come out nice and easily. We have our sap flow meter ready to be inserted onto the tree. So what you want to make sure is you put the needles in the right location. So each one has a label on it to tell you where to put it. So first of all, I start with the upstream probe or the bottom probe. Then when you put the sensor onto the tree, you want to make sure there's a nice loop here. You don't want to have a strain on these cables because over time they will break. So have a nice loop, there's no pressure on those cables, and this installation will last for a long time. To finish off my installation, I'm just going to tie off my sap flow meter to this tree. So I've got this strapping wrapped around the tree, made sure that there's still a nice loop in the cable there. It's nice and firm onto the tree. Now this is ready to go to measure the sap flow of this tree.